Today, we're going to break down one of Brazil's most emotionally devastating songs. On the surface, it seems to be about parents and children, right? But what it's really about is that tragic, unspoken distance that can grow right inside the walls of your own home. So, if you've spent any time in Brazil, you have seen this line. I mean, it is everywhere. It's on posters, it's in wedding vows, it's all over social media. It's treated as this beautiful, romantic piece of advice, a call to just love with everything you've got. It's basically a national cliche. But what if that's a complete misreading? What if I told you this isn't some gentle, romantic idea at all? No, it's actually a desperate, urgent warning that comes from a place where love showed up way too late. And that's what we're going to get into. To really get this song, you first have to understand where it came from. It has this uniquely Brazilian heartbeat. So context is everything here. The song was written by Renato Russo, the brilliant, pretty troubled frontman for the band Legião Urbana, and it came out in the late 80s. Now, you have to picture Brazil at this time. The country was just shaking off a long, oppressive military dictatorship. So everything was up for grabs. Ideas about freedom, responsibility, even the very idea of what a family was supposed to be. This song just lands right in the middle of all that turmoil, and honestly, it became a way to start talking about really difficult things like mental health and emotional neglect. If you're not familiar with Legião Urbana, think about it like this. Imagine the raw, emotional vulnerability of Eddie Vedder in a song like Jeremy, but then combine that with the incredible character-driven storytelling of someone like Bruce Springsteen. That mix, that's the kind of emotional weight and intimacy we're dealing with here. Okay, so let's start peeling back the layers and really look at what this song is saying, beyond that popular interpretation. And here it is, the central contrast. On one hand, you've got the popular view. It's a lovely piece of advice on how to love your family. But the hidden truth, the one that really hits you when you listen, is that it's a tragic picture of love showing up after the silence has already done its damage. It's about consequences you can't undo. And this is just part of the song's genius. It never points a finger. It's not blaming the parents. It's not blaming the kids. Instead, it's this incredibly compassionate look at a shared tragedy, the tragedy of just mutual misunderstanding, where everybody probably means well, but nobody is actually connecting. All right, let's dive into the lyrics themselves and see how this all builds. We're going to see how really simple, everyday phrases are just loaded with unspoken pain. So we're back to that central line. We must love people as if there were no tomorrow. But let's try to hear it differently this time. The emotional tone here, it's not romantic, it's desperate. It's a plea. It's basically someone saying, please love each other right now. Be present right now, because I have seen what happens when you don't. And believe me, silence can be so much more destructive than any argument. Now, listen to this line. So simple. It's almost a throwaway phrase in Portuguese. If you go, let me know. It's something you might say to your roommate, right? But inside this song, that simple phrase carries this immense weight of loneliness. It's the sound of people living under the same roof, but not in the same life. It's that hollow feeling when you realize you're just sharing space, and that true emotional connection, it's just gone. And all through the song, Renato Russo just hints at these hidden stories. He never spells them out, but you can feel their ghosts, The daughter who is screaming on the inside but is totally silent on the outside. The mother who's just buckling under the weight of what everyone expects from her. The son who feels completely and utterly invisible. These aren't just characters, they're these universal patterns of quiet suffering. This line, so often it's taken as just a sad observation about tragedy, but like everything else in this song, it goes so much deeper than that. This isn't just about superstition or bad luck. It's really a reflection on a painful truth, that the most sensitive, the most gentle, the most empathetic people often carry the heaviest emotional loads. And it's a quiet jab at a society that just doesn't know how to support them, that fails to see their struggle until it's far too late. So, yeah, this song is deeply, deeply Brazilian, but its themes of family pain and miscommunication, they're completely universal. Let's try and bridge that emotional gap. I mean, just think about it, the unresolved pain simmering at home in Pearl Jam's Jeremy, or that deep regret of generational distance in Harry Chapin's Cats in the Cradle. Pais Filhos lives right there in that same emotional neighborhood. The big difference, though, is Renato Russo's intimacy. It feels less like a big rock anthem and more like a quiet, urgent conversation you'd have late at night at the kitchen table.
So, where does all this leave us? The song's real legacy is about the silence that so many of us carry and the urgent, desperate need to finally break it.
This might be the line that resonates most with Brazilians today. The world has become so complicated. It's not just, nostalgia for some simpler time. It's this profound recognition of our modern emotional overwhelm. And the song just gently turns that observation inward. It kind of asks us, with all the chaos we see out in the world, what if the most complicated, most urgent crisis isn't out there, but right in here, inside our most important relationships?
When you get right down to it, Pais Filhos is not a rule book for how to be a family. It's not a lecture. It is a desperate, heartfelt plea. It's begging all of us to find the courage to talk and to listen, to be honest and gentle with each other before that silence becomes permanent.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about, whether it's that plea to love or that feeling of disconnection or just the sense that the world is too complicated. Which part of this story really speaks to you and why? Because that's where the song truly lives on.